What up? What up? I'm out of my element and I'm at my house. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this D1 interview that he did with Math Hoffa on My Expert Opinion, which is his podcast where they all essentially sit around like they're in a barbershop and they just kind of cut up and chill and hang out. But I wanted to start and preface this by saying that I appreciate D1 and what he does, especially as a Christian, especially in an industry that I love. I'm a hip hop head and I'm a Christian. And it seems like D1 is also a hip hop head and he's a Christian. And not just figuring out a way to maneuver between the two is something that you adore and that you love over here, but way of life and a worship status on this side, being able to merge those things together. D1 is trying to bring one closer to the other, which I respect and I admire. And I just wanted to go over this interview that he did with Math Hoffa and them, where he talks about Kanye, and just kind of give my 2 cents in between. Let's go, D.
Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
Well, speaking of switch ups, how did you feel about Kanye's comments about whether he was still following Christianity or not?
Kanye West. That's what I call him, bro.
Oh, wow.
Straight up.
Oh,
Clown Ye West. That's actually even kind of clever because it sounds like Kanye West. Clown Ye West. But dig him. Hear what he's saying.
man,
Straight up,
why those choice of words, bro? Like this is the part where Joe Budden is gonna be like,
Nobody cares. First of all, D1 and nobody cares what Joe Budden's going to be saying, to be honest. But beyond that, he's saying this because he's doing clown stuff. He's doing clown-ish.
man, I just keep this thing away from me. 'Cause, like, you gotta understand the trials of a person who's in a public eye. Now, Kanye, I ain't gonna front. Like,
That's fair.
it did seem a little egotistical what he was saying, as far as like, I ain't get an answer, so I ain't rocking with this.
Which is all
It's like I called God and he ain't pick up. I ain't fucking.
The problem is that is a trash take. And we all know what he's talking about here, where Kanye got on the interview with Big Boy and he was essentially, Big Boy asked, like, what's going on with you in your relationship with Jesus? To which Kanye responded, I don't like Jesus anymore, and I am a God. And the reason that I don't like Jesus anymore is because I needed Jesus, and Jesus didn't come whenever I needed him to come, so I had to do things on my own, and for that reason, I'm done with Christianity. That's wild, especially if you really were a Christian in the first place. That's just wild. Because you know that that's not the way it works. If you practice that spirituality, you know that that's not what it is. So it's just clown stuff.
Then another part of the interview, he said, I am God. You know what I mean? And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm a dude that has been influenced by his music the early music, the college dropout, late registration, graduation days. Influenced by his music. Been there through all the transitions he's gone through. All that stuff is cool, man. When Kanye came
I
over
agree.
to, like, yo, I'm taking my Christian walk super serious now a few years ago, I was the biggest cheerleader. It's well documented. I still
Same.
got Instagram posts, like,
Same.
big up in him and
YouTube posts
encouraging
even.
him.
I agree. I did the same thing. I have YouTube posts, probably 20 videos down from this one, where I'm championing him for his walk with Christianity. And at first, I thought it was fake. I didn't think it was real. I thought he was trolling. When Jesus is King came out, I was like, oh, well, even if he is trolling, this is great music with a great message. But when he doubled down on it with Donda, that's when I was like, okay, he's really about this. This is awesome. But when things didn't work out with his family, that's when he went left.
And it's just something that's disappointing when you see that at this point, because you didn't get what you wanted from God when you wanted it, it's
Right.
automatically like, I mean, you can listen to the music even. The content of the music is back to, he had a part in the interview where he told Ty Dolla $ign, he was like, yeah, I tried to,
Get a Minaj.
I tried to get you to, be like, maybe let's not curse
Listen to Mecca in the background talking about he tried to get him Minaj. That's not what he's talking about, bro.
on the album.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Right.
But since when, Kanye, are you letting Ty Dolla $ign make the executive decisions on what's happening on this album? Kanye, you know you in charge, bro.
Right.
You
That's a fact. And anybody who knows Kanye and anybody who knows hip hop knows that that's a fact.
know you decide, hey, we recording in Italy today, we're gonna be in Australia tomorrow, then we're gonna
And truth be told, the word behind the scenes is that Ty Dolla $ign has a some kind of connection or tie with Christianity as well. I don't know if he's a practicing Christian or if he is a follower of Christ, but when he did Blessings with Lecrae, I remember Lecrae specifically in some interview. I'm not even going to waste time trying to find it, but in some interview somewhere, Lecrae was like, um, Ty is a Christian. A lot of people in the industry are Christians that y'all just don't know about, and I put them on the forefront, and that is awesome. But by Kanye saying what Kanye is saying about Ty, I don't know if Ty cares or not, but it doesn't make Ty Dolla $ign look good if he's the one that swayed you this way. And now that Kanye's trying to do the corn thing where he's got like Yeezy corn, everybody is saying Ty Dolla $ign is a bad influence on Kanye. So that's not a good rep to have, to be the person that steers somebody away from their spirituality. And I don't think that it's right to blame Ty Dolla $ign for that. And by Kanye saying things like this, that's exactly what it insinuates.
be in California the next day. You making all the big decisions, but when it comes to like that type of creative stuff that like, yo, this is you still saying, hey, spiritually, I still got something I'm standing on that I don't want to compromise on this album. You choosing not to do that. So you're not standing on business when it comes to the spiritual side of your life.
See, I like how he did that. You're not standing on business. Now, when it comes to your spiritual side of life, and if that isn't standing on business, you're not really standing on business anywhere. Which brings us back to the initial comment that Dee-1 called Kanye West a clown. Clown Ye West. And I'm the biggest, I wore my Yeezys today. I'm the biggest Kanye fan. I love Kanye West music. I love his fashion. I love his shoes. I love him as a person. I'm a huge fan of Kanye West. I really am. But right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm a Christian, and I have to stand by these statements that Dee-1 is making. And all the way throughout this, I encourage y'all to go watch this entire podcast, the entire interview process, because the whole time, pretty much, Math is playing devil's advocate, and Math is trying to trip him up on his Christian talk. Mecca plays a good middleman, but Dee-1 never sways, never falls down, never buckles, and he stands 10 toes on his business spiritually.
And when
So
you say those type of things, like I am God and just all this type of stuff, man, brother, you sounded like a clown, and that doesn't mean that I don't still love.
If you want to feel your energy levels skyrocket, you've got to try out
that
this
doesn't
Organ
mean that I
complex
don't
by
love you.
Paleo Valley. It's buy one.
You. I
That
can
doesn't
still
mean I
love you,
don't
but I
love
can
you.
also acknowledge that, yeah, you on some clown business right now. And you're influencing, this is the best part, you're influencing millions of people. We really see how influential Kanye is right now because he's going #1 independently. So it's not the machine anymore. He is the machine.
Right.
When you have that type of influence, you got to be extra careful what it is you're pushing out there. My college students that I teach, my class I designed is called The Intersection of Hip Hop and Social Change, right?
Right.
So we talk about how hip hop has been and can be used in the future to make real social change. They love when they come in class and they talk about Carnival, right? Kanye's the new song that just hit #1,
Right.
and he bragging on that and everything. I look at like you're bragging on the stats that the song has achieved. In the interview, he said, that's my FU moment to the industry is I got a #1 independently without
He
y'all.
did say that.
Cool. But it's not about what you do in life. When you're a man of God, it's about how you do it. Satan could elevate people too. The devil could be like, oh, I'm going to let you be #1 because what you talk about in this song is making me look good.
I love that part. and that's the part I want to capitalize on the most. When you're a man of God, it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. What's the intent? What's the focus? Why are you doing what you do? And the way that you practice what you do is what defines you. I like that. I like that way of thought. Um, and I agree with it. And I that is really what's wrong with Kanye right now. To me, it's just how he's doing what he's doing is clownish. I mean, truth be told, if he dropped that interview with Big Boy and he said, listen, I have a real problem with Christians right now, and I'm struggling in my relationship with God because I prayed about some things and I'm not feeling spiritually connected to God right now. And none of those things came to fruition. And I'm struggling a little bit of my faith right now, and I need y'all's prayers. Um, and I have this complex with me right now where I feel like I'm a God and that I'm in control of everything. If you were able to humble yourself in that way, first of all, nobody that thinks that they're a God can humble themselves in that way. But if you were able to humble yourself that way, nobody would look twice and say, man, he is acting like a pure jackass. It's because the attitude behind and the way and how he does it when he's like, man, I don't mess with the Christians no more. I hate the Christians. And I don't want nothing to do with Jesus no more because Jesus wasn't there for me when I asked him to be. That's what D is talking about when he says it's not what you do, how you do it that defines people's perception in these moments. And I totally agree with what D is saying. I'm gonna let this play for a couple of more minutes.
All the things that I want the world to be infatuated with, all the gluttony, all the negativity, all the
This is what
disrespectingness, all of
Satan
the,
thinks.
yeah, you doing my work for me. So I'll elevate you to number one. He did the same thing with Jesus, brought him to the mountaintop. I can
Facts.
give you all this. Jesus had the
Facts.
wherewithal to be like, nope, I'm good. Not if it's coming from
Facts. And I didn't realize that until recently. I just got in communication with an old youth pastor of mine, and I gave him hell growing up because I didn't want nothing to do with Christianity. And he was trying to tell me what I needed to know about Jesus at a very young age. And I was a very troubled teen. I was always in trouble, and I hung out with trouble, and I was always just around trouble. And I didn't care about Jesus at that point in time. But now that we've reached back out, we've had a couple of conversations with each other, and he was like, well, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm doing good, man. God has blessed me so much. I just bought a house. I have got this new car. I got a new job. Things are going great. And he was like, that's great. I'm happy for you. But just be careful because the enemy can bless you the same way that God can bless you. Just make sure it is God's blessings.
you. But with Kanye at this point, I watched the whole interview. You bragging on numbers at this point. You bragging on how much money you able to make. Brother,
Right.
Yeah.
at what
Again,
point do you
after being stripped, now you're doing it again.
realize that just making money in and of itself does not make you like a person that we all need to be like looking up to? And then you talking about, yeah, and I'm showing y'all we can make our bag without the
Right.
without the system.
Okay,
Bro,
no-
Cat's been doing that.
No
You
pun-
ain't new. You ain't first to doing that.
No pun intended, but not on
You
the
ain't
levels
first to
of
doing that.
Kanye. No pun intended. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Go.
Here we go.
The bragging.
Which is good. You need this.
We watched a lot of companies pull out, pause, and try to sink this man financially.
Saying pause in a Jesus conversation
I think
is
that's
hilarious.
his aha moment towards those people. Just saying.
It is.
If he's talking to anybody, he's probably talking about that. You dig?
That's true. But once again, I'll reiterate what Dee just said. It's not about what he's doing, but how he's doing it. It's okay to have aha moments. Well, technically, spiritually, according to biblical scripture, you shouldn't have aha moments. But we're human and we're going to make mistakes. And we do have aha moments. A lot of us are motivated by those aha moments. I know I am. When you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go 500 times harder to show you that I can do it. And I'm going to have my aha moment. And I am petty like that. That's wrong. So there is a way. I feel like there is a way to do it more humbly, though, like in a joking manner, or when you're not being so serious about it. Like it, we could go on and on talking about this for days. So I'm just going to kind of let this play out. But I just feel like who who Kanye West is becoming with his personality and why he's doing what he's doing isn't as important as how he's doing it and how he's moving. How he's moving is the sickening part.
You know what I'm saying? And that's an accomplishment to be respected. Like, y'all stopped me. I mean, companies that's like Adidas, you name the whole list of them. Like, you look
And that
at
was crazy.
the shit that he went through or the shit that he put himself through. Because I know Mac was about to follow up like self-inflicted issues. I knew that was.
Look, I'm going to stop there because there's nothing else really gets said that I really want to talk about, but I did want to tie in some scripture with all of this. But before I do that, I just want to say that I care about Kanye West in a way that I don't normally care about celebrities and famous people. I had that type of feel and pull towards DMX, rest in peace. I've had that kind of feel and pull towards Chester Bennington with Linkin Park, rest in peace. And I do have that kind of pull with Kanye West, 50 Cent, and some people that are still alive as well, where I care about their well being. I feel like I know them personally because they have played such vital roles in my life and such vital roles into who I have become as a man. They've inspired me, they've motivated me, and they've just helped me in so many different scenarios just through their music and just through the way that they carry themselves in general. So it's very frustrating and upsetting to see Kanye West like this, especially after literally a whole season of just rooting for him, where we were all just like, man, yes, somebody is finally coming out. They're Jesus freak. They're making Jesus freak music, and the music is incredible. It was Donda to me. You can put. I know he was talking about college dropout, late registration, and oh, y'all are gonna kill me for not remembering the name. Uh, the one with la 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 la. Anyway, the first three albums. But to me, you can put Donda up there with all of them. It's like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Donda. To me, like just musically, sonically, it's such an amazing album. And then the subject matter being what the subject matter is, it's just you're proud of it as a Christian. That's why the Christians have so much pull and so much interest invested into Kanye. Like I've raised my kids to listen to this Donda album. I made my daughter, but I essentially made my daughter become a fan of you. And now you're talking about doing corn. You see what I'm saying? There's a disconnect there, and it weighs heavy, and it's upsetting, and it's just aggravating, man. And in terms of like hip hop and hip hop stature, I don't even really place Kanye West in that rapper category. To me, Kanye has always been like just in the artist category, like the Kanye West, the Michael Jacksons, the Drakes, you know what I mean? The people that just make really good music, you're going to gravitate toward at least one of their songs somewhere. It's impossible to not be a fan of them in some way, shape, or form. That's the category that I place him in. So for me to be able to just share that music with my kids, like I think my daughter she plays softball. I think she's probably walked out to a few of his songs. For him to be taking this route, like when Vultures came out, I was excited about it until I saw the album cover and I realized that he wasn't on that wave at all anymore. And I had to tell my daughter, like, she was like, Daddy, is that new Kanye West album out? And I'm like, yeah, but you can't listen to this. And it ain't even necessarily just the cuss words, man. It's just the sexually explicit content that's just nonstop on that album. And listen, there's still great music on there. I love a bunch of the music on there. But your content, I know that you didn't create it for Christians, but at the same time, if you claimed for 5 years that you were a Christian and you had the Christians in your corner and the Christians had your back in your biggest time of need, you say that we didn't, but we did. and then you just use us as a stepping stone to get back to where you wanted to be and then drop us and drop Jesus. It's not even about us, it's about Jesus. You can't say that you love Jesus and then just drag Jesus through the mud with you. That's not what it's about. And you're showing people that it's okay to do that. And I think that that's wrong. So I got a scripture that I want to tie into all this about the prodigal son, and we'll close out with that. Right here on Christianity.com. We're going to roll with the English Standard Version. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad, for this your brother was dead, and now he is alive. He was lost and is found. The message in this is it's a wonderful time, and they needed to celebrate because the prodigal son and the brother that the good brother was jealous of, the brother that went off and acted like Kanye West, was dead spiritually. But when he came back, this other son that had been doing good and doing what he was supposed to be doing was jealous. But the father of the prodigal son was just excited he was back. Like he didn't look for any kind of punishment. He was lost and now he's found. And I think that that's the way that we need to pray for Kanye West, man. I honestly think that that's Kanye. That's his struggle. And you know, Jesus will leave the 99 to go get the one. So who are we to judge, right? That's not our place. But what Dee-1 is saying is correct. It's okay for us to call out nonsense when we see nonsense. Like as Christians, we're not supposed to be soft, just lay over and let people do whatever they want to do. And we just stick into our own thoughts and our own minds and our own peace and sanity. Whenever you see a brother in Christ specifically acting out and acting crazy, you're supposed to call it out. That's our jobs. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Dee-1 and say I appreciate Dee-1 for all that he's been doing. And I just wanted to bring this to you guys. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think in the comments. I mean, do y'all think that we should just let Kanye West go and keep doing whatever he's doing and not pray for him and not worry about him because he obviously doesn't want it right now? Or do you think that it's probably more important than ever for us to pray for him and hope that he makes his way back? And even if he does make his way back, how many of y'all are really going to believe that it's real? And that's kind of the problem with his actions and how he's doing what he's doing right now is it's going to be hard to trust. But I do think that he can come back, and I do hope and pray that he does come back because something magical could have happened from that. A miracle could have happened from that. I mean, he took a Christian hip hop album to #1 in 13 countries. That's crazy. It's impressive. It's amazing. And people were just celebrating gospel music, basically. Even if they didn't really recognize what the lyrics were about and what he was trying to say in the message, I mean, Donda was a very spiritual warfare type album, like angels versus demons type album. And the angels won and overcame. And I think that that's an important message to send out to the world. So I do, in retrospect, hope that Kanye West kind of comes back to that true form. And I do think that that's him. I just, he's lost right now. And we just got to pray that he finds, or that Jesus finds him. And that's all there is to it. All right. Y'all hit like, subscribe, peace, love, happiness, all that good stuff. Love y'all. Peace.